you should probably expect spoilers.
She's a hard-luck woman with an even harder attitude and enough sass to match that fine ass. Who dat? It's Faye Valentine.
While I would like to presume that everybody watching this episode knows what Cowboy Bebop is, I know the world is not that perfect, so I'm going to take a very brief moment to drop a little synopsis for the show, because YOLO and swag and all that funky shit. Once we get that out of the way, then we can start talking about our favourite purple-haired troublemaker here. Alright, is that cool? Cool, wicked, nice, okay. Firstly, what is Cowboy Bebop?
Cowboy Bebop is the kind of show to turn up for a second, gently massage at your heartstrings, and then piss off before you've got a chance to ask it if you'll ever see it again. It turned up in the late 1990s, threw me 26 episodes, and then left. And I've not been the same since. Fucking prick.
Set in a not too distant future, Cowboy Bebop shows humanity has colonized other locations within our solar system. After an accident on the moon left Earth ravaged by constant meteor fall, our once lovely planet turned into a generally crappy place to live. Though a brief visit to some of London's shanty ends would have concluded all that for you without the need for a bombardment of space rocks. Big up Northside. Brah! With humans now spread out so far and wide, it became increasingly difficult for law enforcers to keep up with the growth of criminal activity. Thus, they opened up a legal bounty hunting system which would reward hunters money in exchange for any criminals turned in alive. Bounty hunters were also known by the name Cowboys, and on one particular ship called the Bebop do we follow a group of 4 incredibly dysfunctional ones. And you can see where they got the title of this show from! You're smarter than the average bear, you are. On today's episode, we're going to be following Miss Faye Valentine, a bounty hunter who trusts no one and in turn makes it very difficult for people to trust her, because Karma's a funny ironic bitch like that. Faye doesn't begin the series as a bounty hunter though. In episode 3, when she first makes an appearance, she's on the run from a lot of problems, mostly involving shady motherfuckers chasing her ass due to all the debt she owes them. She only decides to suddenly become a bounty hunter when she realises there's a chance to earn big ka-ching from it, and she invites herself on board the Bebop. That's the main setup for Faye, and usually on first viewing she tends to come across as a bit of an asshole. But this is where Cowboy Bebop excels at portraying characters to the viewers, and Faye has such beautiful progression as a character, it's hard not to fall for her. Though not fall for her in a sexy way, I mean like as an empathizing emotional attachment kind of way. Though sexy way is also nice way, I like sexy way is nice too, I like sexy way. Carry on. I really don't want to ruin too much of her backstory, but one thing I will say that doesn't overly wreck your experience from enjoying the character is she suffers from amnesia and can't remember her past. And while you might be about to throw tomatoes at your screen out of protest for such a lame setup, let me tell you 2 very quick things. Firstly, throwing tomatoes at your screen is dumb blood, what's wrong with you? Dickhead. And secondly, for Faye, this story element is handled so smoothly. It never feels like the writers just threw it in there to cop out and call it a day. The way they handled Faye's amnesia and the way her past is slowly revealed is what I like to consider a triumphant success at this angle of storytelling. So, for those of you that know Faye Valentine know what I'm getting at, and for those of you that don't know Faye Valentine have now been informed that she's worthy of your time, so go see it for yourself. We all on the same page now? Yeah? Alright, cool. Let's get on with it.
Visual design.
Let it be known, purple is my second favourite colour behind all the green I keep throwing around. Therefore, it goes without saying that I absolutely love Faye's purple hair and green eyes combo. The high back bob cut is also given a yellow hairband accessory with which the purple hair clashes beautifully with. That yellow hairband is also associated nicely with her yellow hot pants and yellow sleeveless jacket, bringing the whole center of her design nice neat packages of bright color placements.
You know what? I ain't seen anybody wear bright yellow PVC in such a provocative way since April O'Neil tried to flash us a bit of cleavage in that Ninja Turtles cartoon. And even that was a crappy cock tease. I was so frustrated as a kid.
Another thing you need to know about me is I love fashion styles from the 1990s, and seeing that Faye is wearing a red button shirt tied in a knot absolutely caters to this personal taste. It's a very iconic trend from that era, and it's great to see a character who lives in the year 2071 still wear it this way. Though that could just be because the influences of the 1990s affected her design perhaps. She is from an anime that was created in the 90s after all. But part of me likes to think Faye intentionally wears her shirt like this as a callback to that decade. Either way though, it's one of my favourite parts of her design. I just love how loose it's worn, almost mimicking the look of a prestigious scarf that a lady of elegance might wear around her arms, but Faye's wearing it like she's about to diss your mother in a rap battle. On a visual level, I love Faye's design, I really do. It sits neatly between the boundaries of sassy and sexy without ever starting to look like your stereotypical fan service outfit. The pink thigh-high socks are probably a little too much for me though, personally. I can appreciate them because hey, you know, thigh-highs man, But I don't know about that colour. In a character designed with such brilliant placements of yellows amongst a vibrant shade of red, a character with purple hair clashing marvellously with the yellows, it just feels like throwing pink into the mix now is just one colour too many, you know? Wouldn't a softer shade of violet been a more fitting colour choice to keep things in line with the hair? No? Just me? Alright then, just me, I don't care, whatever. Overall though, I love Faye's look, and my silly little nitpick doesn't ever deter my admiration for this brilliant fusion of styles and colours. Personality. Out of the 4 Bebop crew members, Faye tends to be the one that gets labelled as the worst when it comes down to personality. She's a very rude woman, sarcastic to the core and incredibly selfish. As I mentioned earlier, she can be quite an arsehole at times. I mean, at one point, there is no food left on the Bebop aside from a can of dog food, and rather than give it to Ein, the ship's Welsh corgi, Faye decides to eat it herself instead. Right in front of Ein. She literally eats dog food in front of a starving dog and then tells the dog to go and get his own food.
What a bitch! You're gonna eat dog food to prove a point to a dog. That is a waste man mentality. You're eating dog food, Faye. Think about it. Anyway, so as you can probably guess, she's a bit of a horrible human being. But what is she really like?
She is a very frightened individual. Not scared in the sense that she runs from immediate danger like a prick called Shinji that everybody knows won't get inside the damn robot. No, Faye holds her own when the going gets tough, so I don't mean she's a fassie. What Faye fears is something internally deeper and stems from the fact that she doesn't know where she belongs. Imagine yourself with absolutely no recollection of your own life beyond a certain date. You can't remember anything, you can't even remember your own name, you had to have that information told to you as well. You are virtually a blank slate. You are alone. The first thing that happens to you at this point? Scary motherfuckers are all up in your face asking for the money you owe them or they're gonna kill you. You don't even know what they're talking about, you have no idea who they even are. Hell, you have no idea who you even are. The people who were claiming to be your friends are also in on it. You can't remember if you had any other friends that you could run to for help, so you don't know where to turn to for help. You literally can't trust anybody. You are alone. One of Faye's most memorable quotes during the show is as follows.
Survival of the fittest is the law of nature. We deceive or we are deceived. Thus we flourish or perish. Nothing good ever happened to me when I trusted others. That is the lesson.
To wake up with amnesia and right off the bat have that much shit thrown at me? Yeah fam, I think that would pretty much make me suspicious of everybody I meet from there on out too. But through all this, all Faye really wants to do is just find what she lost, find where she belongs, and find comfort in something she can wholeheartedly place her trust in. She's an arsehole more on the basis that it's a means to survive and can even be considered a reflex of hers, because she'd rather push you away than take you in and potentially get a knife stuck in her back. If I was in her situation, chances are I probably would have turned out to be an arsehole too. Unless I already am. Whoa. You can tell as time goes on she begins to care for the others and she wants to be friends with them regardless of how she tries to deny it. She has a warm heart, but it's been betrayed so much that she's had no other choice than to shut it off. No matter how hard she might try to fight it though, that heart is going to keep looking for others to bond with. She wants to belong, and so far no other place has given her that much of an opportunity to do so than when she's on the Bebop. Deep down inside you can tell that for all the complaining and bitching she does, for all the two-faced lies she's told, and for all the trouble she's caused the rest of the crew, there's probably nowhere else in this galaxy she would rather be.
Importance.
The Bebop was originally home to just Spike and Jet. Many could argue then that the ship can function perfectly fine without Faye ever coming on board. It's not like the two guys invited her to join anyway. But I disagree. Spike and Jet get along as is, it's just two bros in space doing bro things. But with Faye thrown into the mix you get the added angle of fire and spice, and it really makes for great perspectives within conversation. There are even times when one of the guys will agree with Faye's point of view against the other dude, and that just adds more scope to the spectrum of witty, interesting discussions that take place on board the Bebop. The guys might act like they don't give a shit about her, but Faye has gotten under their skin enough to cause a feeling of unease when the ship suddenly becomes a bit too quiet and the regular ranty wailings of an annoyed Faye are absent. There's also been a few times where she was in a spot of trouble and the guys did jump in to bail her out. Whatever they might say about Faye doesn't reflect how they feel internally, that's for sure. She is part of the Bebop family whether anybody likes it or not, and that probably includes Faye herself. There is one other thing I would like to mention, and it's a little bit out of the box, but I want to say it anyway. Memories are something that can be captured physically. We live in such an age where the past can be collected in things like photos and music, and we sometimes even almost feel like we're time traveling whenever we access those things. My own life has gone through many different stages, but one thing I used to do a lot of was record myself at these different stages. I can't help but look at Faye and notice a similar type of understanding. I myself am here at this moment talking to you via recorded video. Right now it's just a review featuring me, DiGi Valentine, talking Briggs about a fictional character, but I also have essentially captured a moment in time. I might look back on this video in 10 years and feel that same sense of time travel. Faye as a character teaches the viewers about memory and the ways in which you can contain it. Sometimes all it takes is a gift from the past to remind you not only of where you've been, but where you're supposed to be heading.
Conclusion.
Cowboy Bebop deals out a heavy amount of real talk when it comes to tragic backstories. Everybody has one, and Faye's one just happened to hit me the right way. It's left a lasting impression to say the least. Because of that, I'm going to firstly hold the character in high regard for delivering such a thought-provoking concept to me. As for the character herself, she is everything the Bebop needed. A smart-ass know-it-all with the right amount of citrus personality to change the flavour of the conversation. Through all her hardships, we bear witness to some really great storytelling, and I don't ever want to imagine a version of Cowboy Bebop with Faye Valentine missing from it. She's the first lady of the Bebop, and as far as I'm concerned, she always will be.
I'm probably the minority of Bebop fans when I say this, but I actually want to see more from this series. Not like a giant second season, nothing like that, just a few spin-off episodes to see how some of the crew members are getting on these days. Because I really want to catch up with Faye, I want to see how she's doing now. And on that note, I'm going to give her the Valhalla emblem because she's one of my favourite characters.